Hello and welcome to episode 109 of the Crypto Bull Market Watch. Today is going to be an amazing episode because the markets are lined up so perfectly. Let's get rid of this music. And today we're calling it Crypto Winter Over. Everybody's saying that we had this big cryptocurrency winter over this last long time as we went through the big downtrend. And is that winter over? If so, then the bottom formations are in and we're starting to see a little bit of the beginning of the foothills for our big mountain that is coming. Hi, I'm from Earth. Litecoin to the moon. Yes, indeed. Hey, the pothead, good to have you back. Joseph Eckhart, good to have you here from San Diego. It's a beautiful strip of the world. All right, now, just before we get into things, I want to mention again that there is a contest going on and we're just getting it ramped up right now. We're co-hosting it with Altcoin Fantasy and they have an amazing setup. I'm going to put it in the chat here so that you can get a link and go over and join us. Hey, JC Denton, good to have you along. And if you're new to the stream, click on the thumbs up, click on subscribe. Great to have you along. I'd invite you now to go over and join this contest. It's got over $5,000 in prizes and there is no cost to enter. I'm calling it the biggest bull market in history, cryptocurrency trading contest. And we need 1,000 people to get it going. So get over there and join up and then the contest will kick off. Now, the disclaimer. You can pause the video to read the disclaimer or click on the link down in the description below because it's not trading advice. This is just an observation of the bullishness or bearishness of the overall cryptocurrency market. Now, each time I start this up, it seems to be that the chat box doesn't start off working. I have to refresh the cache of the current page. Not just once. There we go. I think that's it anyway. No. I will leave it if it doesn't come up here. Don't see it. And then I have the I'm going to just continue on here. My little boxes along the side are not showing up at all. And so the purpose of the show here today and each day, we go through all of the cryptocurrencies on Poloniex and we grade them against our trading plan to see if they are a buy signal or an alert or just a neutral coin. And we're looking for a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation at the end of a downtrend with the break of a downtrend line. So we've got these 3 requirements. We've got the break of a downtrend line. Check. Then we have a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. And the definition of that is the number 1 is the lowest point that it's been in the downtrend. So all the way along we're watching for it. Here's a number 1, number 2, number 3. It broke out, turned out to be a fake out, breakout, and prices continued down. We had a number 1 point here. It came up, made a number 2 point here, made a number 3, but then it failed and made a new number 1. So we keep looking for number 1s, looking for number 1s, looking for number 1s, looking for number 1s. And eventually, of course, we get down to having a 1, a number 2, a number 3, comes up, touch the number 2 again, in the middle of the number 1 and 2 and 3. So now I'm going to clear all this off. We are inside a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, inside that triangle that it always makes. Now the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation always happens at the change of a trend. Almost always. I would say 90% of the time. You'll always find that 1, 2, 3 bottom formation at one time frame or another when the market is going to, it has to happen. It's just part of the turnaround. When a ball goes up, it slows down, makes an arc, and it comes down. The same thing when these things top and bottom. So you will see the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation inside a head and shoulders top formation or an inverted head and shoulders bottom formation. You'll see the 1, 2, 3 formation at the end of all Elliott wave formations. There's always ends in a 1, 2, 3 formation. So it's kind of why I focus on them so much. Now, after that explanation, we can see that this is just breaking to the higher part here. Hey, LOL Chandra, crypto will never come back to all-time highs. It's going to go way higher than that. It's going to go way higher than all-time highs, red 5 Gulf Gunny, by several orders of magnitude. So anyway, this is in our sheets here. We got fire truck coming by right away. I'm going to put it as I'm still going to put it as an alert and make it go a little bit higher before I put it as a hold in our spreadsheet. Let me mute myself here for a second. All right, so there was no traffic in the way and the fire truck went by quickly. So we're looking at this formation. It's looking so fantastic. It's going to be a hold right away. It's really such a beautiful formation. And what we're doing here is really simple stuff. It's just looking at color coding it. So when we go to the next one, we're going to basic attention token. And we had the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation earlier here. We called this a hold and it's still taking off. So there's nothing to do but sit and hold, sit on your hands. And I was chatting in our Discord chat earlier. Let me find it. I see it's layered on under things. And in our Discord chat, I copied a quote. Get the right place here. This is a quote from Reminiscences of a Stock Operator. The quote says, "After spending many years on Wall Street and after making and losing millions of dollars, I want to tell you this. It was never my thinking that made me the big money. It was always my sitting. Got that? My sitting tight. It is no trick at all to be right in the market," he says. "I've known many traders who were right at exactly the right time and began buying or selling stocks when prices were at the very level that should have been the greatest profit. And their experience invariably matched my own. That is, they made no real money out of it." Traders who can both be right and sit tight are uncommon. I found it one of the hardest things to learn, but it's only after a stock operator or a crypto operator has firmly grasped this that he can really make the big money. So we are in that phase now of sitting tight. We are correct. Put your stop loss just above your entry and you put your hands under your seat and you wait. We'll talk more about that as this unfolds. Bancor Network token. This one's just taking off, just blasted, and it didn't make a nice 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, so this kind of market gets away from me. Even though it had these pre-pump candles going on, it just didn't make it made a 3, 2, 1 bottom formation, so I could never trade it. So things like this get past me. And now I'm going to put it as a hold, just because this isn't a trading thing. It's not trading signals. We're just saying, is it bullish or bearish? Now, if you really want to get into trading signals, we have a service, the Trading Signals and Alerts, which is much more detailed. And we go over more than 200 altcoins, everything on Poloniex and everything on Binance too. And here are some of our current winning trades. Up 308% on ENJ, 149% on Theta. This is a really good example of being able to hold. Look at these things. We got them in December 12th, December 13th. But these trading signals also are working right now. Here's a trading signal that was issued on the 8th. That's today. Here's a couple from the 7th. from the third, from the first. These trading signals are going on all the time, and there are lots of detail in them. So if we go into the ENJ and we look at the screenshot of the actual trade signal, we can pull that up and see that it was on the 18th of February that we put the signal out. You can see this chart pattern. If I bring up this chart pattern, this is about the 18th of February right here, and I will drag this forward and we'll see what happened with it. It just blasted off. And then the sitting is the hard part, and sitting made a whole bunch more profit on this one. Really fantastic. Just great to see this example. There's so many of them going on with these trading signals. Now let's get back to the bull market watch, and we're going to go through these color coding so that we're going to give ourselves that show at the end to see if it's bullish or bearish and measure it exactly. This still looks like a near fail. Like it's almost coming down to new lows, which is what I call a near fail. A fail is when it's breaking down to a new number 1 point. So this is our number 1 point. If it came down to almost brushing that, I would call it a near fail. If it goes down below that, I call it a fail. It's not a bottom formation. However, this one I'm going to say is neutral. It's building something. It's doing better than ABC. BCN, I don't think it's going anywhere yet. Not yet. Still neutral. Bitcoin, we had it as an alert. I'm going to grab this chart. Yeah, and it's still an alert. It's still hanging out in this alert status. It'll turn green. It'll be bullish if it starts to break above this stuff. But alert is the most bullish I can give it right now. Looks good. I like it. BitShares we had as an alert. Yes, and it's still within the alert. It's like this big bowl with handle, maybe, formation. I've been watching for it. Still an alert. It looks like it's going to be blasting off any time here. Looking great. Burst. Still an alert hanging on there. It's so close that it's another one that'll probably just take right off. I've been wanting to see what's going on with Clam. It is really moved up here. Moved up. I'm going to zoom in on this. So, is this losing power? Or is this an ascending wedge triangle that is just about to go straight up higher, just like this? I don't know, but I do have some. I actually took some mining earnings and purchased into it. Maybe it was in here. And so it's really great profit on that. Just a fantastic example of taking a little bit of earnings, putting it in, and making that money grow. All right. And so I mark it as a hold still. Civic coin, I bet you that's still a hold. It is. It's making a great formation. We've got these big pre-pump candles. It's such a beautiful chart pattern. Like there's so many of these right now. I'm saying it's a hold, but it's also an alert. It really would be like, hello, be alert that this is going to be going up and be watching it. This is what the alerts mean. But even these ones that are marked as holds or bullish, they're the green color, they have great potential. This is still pulling back. I'm going to put it neutral now, but I'll bet you that this is a bull flag and that we will see it bounce straight up out of that. It'll hit this bottom and it'll go straight up, and fast when it does too. Decreed we had as a fail the other day, and I'm going to leave it as a fail because it is now at new number 1 points. And it has, now that it's down to a new number 1 point, it has to establish an entirely new 1, 2, 3 bottom formation from there. Sometimes we can use some of this support and resistance, but most of the time it's on its own and it's got a whole new bottom to build. Here we have a double bottom. We watched this triangle form and we watched it as an alert, and now it's doing great. Nothing to do but hold. Put your stop loss above your entry and sit on your hands. We'll talk about when to be taking profits, and we'll be looking at that day by day as that's coming up, just as we've been watching these bottom formations unfold. And we're like, say, neutral, hold, and then we'll see that progression happening in these. Make sure I got everything all working here properly. Five times on ENJ. Incredible. Incredible. I love it. All right, now EOS, this is another one that we had as a hold just out of this, and we've been calling it a hold all the way along. I'm going to leave it as a hold, but if it starts to dip down below this, then we'll call it a cold fish. What are we looking at? The 12-hour bars. So one of the strategies is to get out when the 12-hour bars cross over. So you get in and you wait. And when these moving averages on the 12-hour bar time frame cross over, after the top formation is when you get out. And you're waiting that long and even giving up some profits for the possibility that it's going to be going higher than that. And this is one of the strategy that I'm erring on the side of, so that I'm not trying to take profits too soon, but I'm trying to stay in and even losing some of my profits for the potential that it's going to consolidate and then go higher after that. So I really want to keep my stops low right now, which is an error. If this is going to be a very small little surge up and it's all going to come down again, I'll end up making less than if I had sold out earlier. However, if it is the beginning of a longer term trend, then I'm going to benefit big time, like some of these trades that are up 308%. How correct you are. EOS. So I guess after all that talking, I'll leave it as a hold. But I like going through some of that theory, partly to reinforce it in my own trading mind, partly to share it here, partly so that I can go back and review it afterwards and say, what was I thinking that day? This is, I'm going to call it a near fail, actually. It's so down low to that bottom support level that if this was a number 1 point, this would number 2. These are all the number 3 point. It's a large flat number 3. Now Ethereum, it's consolidating fantastic. I'm going to give it a neutral. It's got to kick up one way or another now out of this massive triangle that it's building. This is a really big triangle here. The volume overall is going down. It seems that we get a bit more volume when the prices are going up and then quieter as the prices are coming down. So, could be that it's going to be taking off. Factum. Well, at least it's giving us a 1, 2. Now it's giving us number 3. So, that'll give us a very clear spot to be buying into on the breakout. And so it's like not an alert anymore. I'd even call it a near fail because it looks like it's going to be going down. It looks like the trend is still down. So it's not giving us a bottom formation that we can be watching for. Foam building up, and I like these big green candles here. And big green candle with very little price move means somebody had a sell wall up above the market and somebody else bought it. So they were able to get a huge volume through without moving the price up much. So that strengthens the possibility of an alert here, but I'm going to put it back to neutral because it's not pressing up like it's just about to break higher. We'll see. It could be wrong. It could take right off. Game is still building up. You know, that's making a nice triangle there. And should this triangle break, just like we had in a few different coins when they're coming down to this consolidation triangle, this then can be the buy. You can move the buy signal down closer. It gives you a very nice small range to have your entry level and your stop loss. They're very nice and close together. If I was waiting for the official number 2 point and I was getting in right here, then my stop loss is below the number 3 point. That's a very wide range. So when it comes down to a point like this, it helps you reduce your risk to reward ratios when you're first setting up a trade and your initial emergency stop losses. I like these kind of positions like that. So I'm going to call this one game, I'm going to make it an alert. gas. I'm going to turn this back into an alert again too. It's looking much kind of that same triangular-ish shape. And a break above that would be very good. Column network token, we had it as an alert. I'm going to leave it as an alert. We have that same kind of triangle. It's got a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, though it's smaller. And we're on the 12-hour bar, so those moving averages have crossed over. Those are all the things we're looking for. So that it's right close to giving us all the things we're looking for is time to call it an alert and to be watching it for the trade signal. This probably doesn't have enough history for us to look at it all. Very difficult kind of gambling, but it is giving a small little 1, 2, 3 bottom formation there in Grin coin. Hunter coin, I got to zoom back out to a longer term time frame where you're less likely to be beat up by the bots, by those price manipulating bots. So Hunter coin, tomorrow it may be an alert. Today it's still neutral. It's getting really close though. Now KNC, this is another one that, look at this. I don't know if you can see it very well. Okay, I'm going to leave that there. I shouldn't be playing with that one. Let me go over to this. Click on this. We are going over to Kyber Network Token, KNC. So we got KNC in this row right here. And we're at the beginning, January 6th, way up at the top. And we're coming down January 27th, February 8th, through the 15th of February. And then it started turning into an alert as we were watching it. February 20th, and it's sort of fading back. Then it's back into alert status and faded back and back into alert status. Then it's into our green signal. So we got into it early enough, way early enough, that we are there to catch the move. So Kyber Network Token, boom. This is great that we are identifying the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. We've got our plan, and this plan, I didn't make it up. I actually learned it from Ken Roberts, who taught it to me in a course that I purchased from him back in 1995. And between 1995 and 1998, I worked like a maniac, and I put all this stuff together, and I wrote it all down. I had my trading plan complete, and this is what I'm using in cryptocurrencies now. It's that same 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, break of the downtrend line, moving average crossover. It gets you, you see it coming a mile away. You have lots of time to get into it. Get your position, sit back, and then let the market do the work. So that timing of it and then sitting at the right time is just fantastic. I really like that we have the chance to go through this day by day and watch this unfold, and then have this kind of successful example pop up right under our eyes as we're doing this stuff. So powerful, so amazing. This one is an alert, and we can go back through and see how this was an alert, then a hold, back to neutral, back to alert status. We can follow the flow of it as it's building momentum, and then you check the price charts. It's just great. Here's another one that Loom, still a hold, and we'll sit on this one. We were not doing much. Lisk, I'm very excited about the chart pattern we read in Lisk. As this triangle pattern came down and tightened up, we called this our entry, and we're just sitting on that now. So we really came right down to the very bottom, the very nose of that point. Very lucky to be there at that time. Litecoin, zoom, 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 zoom. This is where we first caught it. As it came down and went 4 times off this bottom, came down to this pointed triangle, gave us the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. Our moving averages were crossing over. We were looking at this on the 1 hour and the 4 hour bars. This is when we grabbed a signal right here. Now, I'm not sure if that's the signal that gave us the 100% gains over in our alerts, because we noticed a couple different consolidations as things are going. So it may be a little bit greater. But we certainly bought into it here and got one of our alerts that came back, and we left our stop way back so that we let the market come all the way back. Let it do its thing. Look at this. Came back the second time. Still not shifting. Still not changing our stance. We got in at a profit. We got our stop loss set. We are waiting. Then we're rewarded for it. We see this ascending wedge triangle. Look at that ascending wedge triangle. If we are seeing any more of these coming up over the next while, we're going to pay close attention to them as they build up. And as they build up, we're going to be ready every time they tease us too. So when it teases us here and it teases us here and it teases, we're going to be ready to test it every single time, because those ascending wedge triangles out of the bottom formation pop so many times. Now it's come all the way back and retested that 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Huge, powerful formation taking off here. And there we go again, out of a larger ascending wedge triangle. Larger. Beautiful. So this is the kind of stuff we're watching for now. So you want to get in and sit. Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. The top formation will tell us when we get there, but these were all ascending wedges, and they were not giving us a top formation and a reversal that panned out. Even though when it comes up to this, I was testing and I was ready for the top formations. Great stuff. A little bit off track there, but a great example, and I hope it helps, because this is such a critical time for it. And every day I'm going through this and I'm saying, oh my goodness, look at MadeSafe coin. What a great buying opportunity. And then it goes down. Oh, look, it's MadeSafe. What a great buying. And then it goes down. And that's all fine. I'm not getting out of mine. I'm taking this as a much longer term view. It's crazy, the opportunity that's setting up here. But it's not going up right now at the moment. So I can't even have it as an alert status. I've got to put it as a near fail status, actually. Mana. Look at this. Came down, made a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, moving averages, crossed over. It took off, came back and gave us a second chance to be able to get in, so that it's confirming that it's not a fake out breakout, but it's an actual turnaround. There's a really, I like that chart. And I wasn't expecting it, actually. I thought it was going to be going down for longer. I'm excited to see this chart. Navcoin is still an alert. This triangle has just extended on and on and on. It just keeps resetting itself and not breaking out. Crazy. Oops. Namecoin. What's going on with Namecoin? It's still a hold. I don't recommend it, but it's like it's bullish. It's going up, so I got to mark it as bullish. NMR is another one that I would have to mark this as bullish. And we've been talking about it a couple days, but I don't have it in this chart because when I add a row, all of the color coding gets messed up. So I'm going to have to create a copy and do some work on this to get this to work. My apologies. NXT. Nothing yet. I don't know. There's a few of us watching it just because it's making such a great formation now. OMG is finally making a solid 1, 2, 3 bottom formation here. So it's still neutral, but it'll be an alert like tomorrow if it gives any more strength at all out of that. Omni was a hold because it came down to this consolidation and up she went. So even though we've got it marked as a hold, that it's bullish, it's one of those coins that has taken off and then it's come back to retest its takeoff point here. Lullaby. And then if on strength, that would be another option for buying in. Pascal, we are at, well, look at that. It's making a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation here at the end of this long downtrend. Got to pay attention to it. I guess I'll call it an alert, even though it's not my favorite of all chart patterns. It fits in. Poly, we got some news on this one, and 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. I also really like the volume pattern on this as it's taking off here. That's really great. So I don't have it in the spreadsheet, but I think that one's ready to go. I would put that as an alert. PPC. Actually building up to something there. That's consolidating as well, and I have to put it as an alert. Quantum. So I think we're getting a more bullish signal out of this. Quantum is also looking pretty good here. Should that be an alert, or is that actually bullish? I'll put it alert. I'll make it do a 1 tick up tomorrow, and then we'll call it a hold. Rep is also starting to look pretty good. I'm going to put this as an alert because that's a trend continuation setup there. And the trend continuations are a little different than the 1, 2, 3 bottom formations. So I'm going to zoom in on that and zoom in on it again. And now that we're looking at the 1 hour bar, we can start to see the 1, 2, 3 bottom, and it's actually kind of breaking above that in the 1 hour bar format. So it could actually be a buy signal already and not an alert. So when we start off, we're looking for the 12-hour bar 1, 2, 3 bottom. When it's making the consolidation, we can use the 4-hour bar and even sometimes the 1 hour bar when it consolidates after a pullback like this, especially when it's come back right to the 50% level on the, it's just great. SBD, the mystery coin, is an alert because it looks like it's going to be taking off higher. That is consolidating. It's in a beautiful chart formation. I don't know, but it's done it before, and it really looks good. When it starts breaking above that, I would be checking it. This is still, I guess, a near fail. SNT has been one that's been shaping up nicely, and it's consolidating more. I'm going to leave it as the alert it was because of that big triangle, and if it breaks above that, we're good. Steam, so we're still using this one as a hold. I love that we identified this one quite some time ago and then nailed it. We're in there. So it was a no-brainer. As it consolidated in here, we see the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, like it just stands out. And then it broke out from there, came back, and it retested the breakout levels. So there's the 2 different places that we get to enter on these 1, 2, 3 bottom formation breakouts. We can buy on the breakout, and you leave your stop loss down here, and if it comes back, you just sweat it out. The other way is don't buy on the breakout, wait for it to come back and retest these levels, and then you would buy on strength, or here buy on strength, and that would be your entry instead. So you're filtering out one of these pumps. Sometimes it gets away from you, but that's just the way it is. And so Steam, got it marked. I'm way off track on a few things here, but I'm really, there's some great examples setting up here, so it's good to talk about them. We go into much more detail in the course in the alerts packages. STR or XLM on many other exchanges. I'm going to make this an alert. It's looking fantastic, and it's got a good 1, 2, 3 bottom formation that has taken pretty much a month to set up here, and that's a pretty good amount of time for a good reversal. Strat. I'll give it neutral. It's up from near fail, but not yet an alert or anything, but it is at such a great chart technical level that it is an accumulation zone. It is really looking great. Syscoin, are you being an alert today? Still an alert, not a hold. It's got to kick up from there and not pull back. It's close. Via has been so close as an alert. Okay, it just poked its nose up into buy territory and then it's come back. I'm going to leave it as an alert and wait for it to give us that breakout that we're looking for. VTC, it's been a hold for a little bit. I think it's going to break higher from this. Just by the way the chart pattern's going, where we have these big green candles of buying, and then it settles back and quiets down until there's a bunch of sell orders build up above the market, and then poof, somebody buys them all, and then they wait, and then they build up again. Somebody poof buys them all. Pretty soon there's fewer and fewer buy sell signals to go above the market. Now let's go into counterparty. And same thing as before. I'm going to actually give it a fail, not just a near fail. XEM was a near fail for the last few days. It's really been bouncing off these low levels. It's still near fail, but it's looking like a much better looking chart. I think that's going to be going somewhere. XMR. It didn't go where I thought it was over here, so I can finally just retire that. And pay attention to the fact that it is making this big consolidation triangle here at such important levels. If I go to the 5-year view, look at this important level that it's sitting at. This is really amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. And we'll come back in 6 months and we'll look at these and go, oh my goodness, I didn't realize how amazing it was. We just underestimated what was actually going to happen. Okay, this is a little bit long term. All right. That's still an alert, but it will kick into a bullish hold shortly. Ripple, what are you doing? Near fail. ZEC still on its way down. Fail. What's going on there? ZRX. Okay, I'll leave you near fail. And now for the moment we've been waiting for, the addition at the end. So what we're going to do is I'll bring up the cover charts and I'm going to copy and paste the formulas into place, and it'll automatically add up all those color-coded codings, and it'll update down here in the chart. So the green should go up higher, I think. That's what I think is going to happen today. And here we go. Yes, it did tick up a little higher. And the reason is we had one more new hold and another couple new alerts, fewer neutrals, but we also had a tick up in near fails and fails. So the bullish went up a little bit and the bearish went up a little bit. CIS-USD. Crypto will surpass all-time highs, and for sure. And it's going to take 12 to 18 months because even though it's so obvious, it just takes that long for the word to get out from waves and waves of different people. Pardon me. And it'll just take that long for the markets to fill their way out. Okay, now we're going to look for CIS-USD. So I'll bring up CIS-BTC. And we don't actually have a dedicated CIS-USD market. Instead, what we have is that coin market cap, and I don't recall the website right offhand. So what I'm going to do is go to our tools for cryptocurrency traders, and this is the one, right? No. Coin signals, Coinigy, coin tracking. What is that coin, the chart place that has everything from coin market cap? Old Scott, do you have that link? Yes, indeed. Now, the whales will do it. The whole what do you call it, economy will do it. the thing is right now is to get in position and then let the markets do the work. It's obvious that we are seeing bottom formations. Everybody's calling it all at the same time. And many people are going to lose money. It is CoinTrader Pro, eh? Many people are going to lose money trading these markets. I don't know. It looks different now. And so I'm interested in what's going on with altcoin fantasy because I logged in over there and joined one of the competitions that's going on right now. I'm just logging in to bring that up. And I just started a couple days ago, so I'm late, so it's not fair to compare properly. But here my account started off with $10,000. Now it's up to $10,879. That's nice. And I'm already in the top 10% of the people in this trading contest. That means that there's like 4,000 people who have less than $10,000 in their account. That's like 90% of the people, 80% of the people who are trading in this contest are losing money. And this is pretty typical statistics that we see or hear all the time. And here's a real example of it in a trading contest. So it's a pretty interesting thing. And a lot of people are going to come into this bull market. They're going to see these prices going up and they're going to get wrecked. They're not going to be trading at the right time. They're not going to hold when they have a winner. They're going to take their profits too soon and then the market's going to be taking off. They're going to have a little bit of a loser and they're not going to take their losses right away. Prices are going to go down. So they're going to be holding their losers, hoping it goes back up. They're going to be taking their profit on their winners too quick, and they're not going to make the profits they could have. So their losses are bigger than they should be, and their wins are smaller than they should be. And when you average that out, you're either just breaking even, spending all your time looking at the charts, and you're not making much money, or worse, you're doing all this and you're losing money. And so I'm hoping that you guys join the altcoin fantasy trading contest for Intro to Cryptos. And I want to see a ton of us really make a whack of money so that we have 30% of the people who join that contest are actually not making money because they didn't view enough of these videos. And the rest of everybody else should be profitable, and we should have some strong competition for that top place. And the best prizes in that contest are random. So you can win some of the biggest prizes even if you don't win the trading contest. And the reason I did that is so that those people who really need the training, they really need that stuff, you've got the chance for it. So I'll put this in the chat one more time when I find it here. Paste it to Discord. Awesome. Okay, now let's go and see what's going on with Bitcoin, Litecoin. Wow, look at Litecoin. This is the 4-hour chart. So it did this little blip down, but it's bounced right back up. Kicked that, just rejected it and went up strongly from there. Litecoin made this little dip down. Bitcoin made the dip down. They're all three looking better. They rejected that low, it seems. It's got a bit of work to do yet before it's up there. Stellar or XLM, it's in this beautiful bottom formation. Come on now, break higher. Let's go. CoinTrader Pro. All right, and that wraps us up. That gives us our study. So we are increasing the bull market, and we have some really great examples here, all coming along, filled in with this trading competition right now. It's the perfect time to be doing all this cryptocurrency studies. Really is. We'll come back to this in 6 months and we'll look at these charts and say, hey, did you hold? Did you make the money you could have? Did you sell too soon? Did you try to sell out at the top and get back in when it pulled back a little bit and then you didn't make the profits you could have? There's going to be tons of great conversations going on. Really great days for trading. And I appreciate you guys being here. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for the thumbs up. I really appreciate those. And I'm grateful for the new people who have been subscribing the last little while. This is great to see the channel growing, more people getting this information that made such a difference in my own trading and in my own life these last few years by trading these in the cryptocurrency bull markets. Cheers for now. All the best in your cryptocurrency trading. Tune in tomorrow and we'll see how everything has panned out over the 24 hours. All the best and bye for now.